Namaste. How is everyone? How was the walk? Walking with no talking? That's great. Laughter, that's good. Laughter is always good. Because fun is fundamental. So always put fun before the mental. So let's get started with this session. I would like to invoke Lord Dhanvantari. Is the Lord for healing, deity for Ayurveda. Yo vishvam vidadhati pati satatam sauhare yatyanjasa srishtva divya mahoshadishcha vividhan duri karoti yamayan. Hari Om, Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. And once again, I welcome all of you to this wonderful session of Vedic counseling. And I must thank these two beautiful souls, Mukund Krishnaji and Maitri Resnick, to come and sportingly participate in our session. And they teach us a very important lesson. And what is that lesson? Is to seek help, to be vulnerable. It's okay to go and ask for some help. Many times, the biggest blockage that our ego and ahankara does to us is, we have figured it out. I don't need any help. What are they going to tell me? That I don't know. It's a huge hurdle, is that right? To surrender yourselves and to show up to someone, sometimes a total stranger, to trust them, have faith that you can learn and grow with something is a giant step. And I must salute both of you to be here today. It starts with awareness. And in Vedic counseling, it is something that you have led your life on your own terms, in your own ways so far. It's very difficult to shift and change because that's the fear that everyone has. That what are they going to tell me that I don't want to stop doing? Is that right? I love golf, and are you going to tell me that my shoulder is hurting and stop playing golf? I love golf, and you're going to take the little fun that I have and the only enjoyment I have in my life away from me? It's a fear. This is my favorite food. Are you going to tell me not to look at that for the rest of my life? Fear. So once you get over the fear, you are here and you are exploring a new model. A new model is you want to feel healthy, you want to feel happy, and you want to learn and grow in every session. Education should be the basis of any medical evaluation and consultation. Is that right? If you're not going to learn something in any standard medical consultation, then it's of no use. Knowledge leads to transformation. And learning, having that aha experience about yourself, and then trying to challenge yourself and learn, grow, rewire things differently is very important. So I think now, we are fusing this together because it's not a therapy session where you go and sit with someone who's sitting on the sofa trying to judge you and ask you a question and probe you that, gosh, why did you do that? How did you do that? Who did what to you? It's not like that. Neither is a medical consultation that you are eating bad foods, take this drug and get away from me, and we'll take a look at it 3 months later. It's even not that. It's even like someone that you are going to meet as a friend, philosopher, and a guide, and a mentor who you trust, and we trust each other's ability, where we are going to explore the dimension of consciousness in each other, where we will come up with some creative solutions. Maybe not a whole lot. When I studied their individual charts, what they sent me, didn't have a whole lot of problem for me to fix, which is a good thing, okay? But it tells me that they have led a very interesting life so far. And as a healer, as a counselor, I'm very, very curious about a human journey. And every doctor should be very curious about that. Because they have gone through so many experiences that they have shoved under the carpet of their body. How many of you were here this morning for the meditation? And when we did the flashback of our life, we understood that how far we have come and what has happened so far. So, this life-encompassing things, where we look at a session from birth, you chose in the whole wide world these set of two people to be born of, to live in this family with these kind of siblings for the first 15 to 20 odd years in your life. Do we choose our parents? Our parents choose us? What do you believe? You choose your parents? Neither? Okay. Is there a karmic journey involved? You are here to burn off their karmas quickly? Or they are there to help you get started to burn off your karma way too early? Whichever way you look at it, it's a fact. It's a karmic point of colliding that you're born in that family. Whether you like it or not, be immensely grateful and thankful. As Mataji was saying this morning, you exist because of them. Whether they were good or bad doesn't matter at this point. So, we are looking at their life on a spectrum scale. We are looking at everything that going through. Could be stress, could be financial challenges, relationship, jobs, personality challenges, maybe some emotional burden that they are carrying, life purposes, time constraints, timeline, when, what is going to happen. Because those are our construct, is that right? Like Maitri said that soon she wants to retire and get to the next phase. It's a man-made thing. Who decided that at 65 you become qualified for a Medicare age and now you have 20 years to live before you check into some kind of a home somewhere and fizzle out? Nobody decided these things. But these are all man-made constructs of time and the divisions of time. But using our time wisely, understanding the pace of life, finding our purpose and spiritual quest through all of those things. And the model I choose is Ayurveda, Jyotish. Jyoti means light. Isha means divine. Is that right? It means divine light. So you are not looking at someone's astrological chart as a fortune-telling machine, but you are looking at it some divine insight with your heightened awareness and intuition you are getting in order to really help something that is currently going on. And this is a good starting point for communication. Good starting point for communication where we'll do a standard Ayurvedic evaluation, tell them, listen to them. It's very important how we listen to them and what is going on in their system as such. So this is a little software program that I use. So this ferocious guy is Saturn. Today is Saturn. Is that right? So Shani. And these planets are in the 12 zodiac signs where as we stand today. And this is Mukund Krishna. And this is Maitri. Is that right? Always a good habit to check when you enter the information whether it matches perfectly, because I have done this the hard way. I've done the whole session and then I give them a printout of their chart and they look at it. Did I say AM? Actually, I was born on PM and I accidentally put AM there. And then I tell them, don't worry, nothing changes. So Mukund, you were born on November 15th, 1968 at 2:50 a.m. in Mumbai, Maharashtra. Is that right? So that we confirmed. He is 56 years of age. Currently lives in Dallas, Texas. Is that right?
Correct.
Maitri, you told us you were born on 17th of March, 1963 at 17:23, which is 5:23 in the evening in Salt Lake City, Utah. Perfect?
Correct.
Okay, so we are on this format right now. So we'll start with Mukund. Before we go into nitty-gritty details, tell them who you are, what you do, and you don't have to disclose more than that. You just have to tell them where do you live, your marriage status, your children, and what do you do. That's all.
Okay, so I grew up in India, came here in 91, spent about 14 years in the United States, married here in the US. My wife Revati is here. We have 2 daughters. Went back to India in 2004 to take care of my father who was diagnosed with Parkinson's.
You don't have to tell all those things.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right. So went back and then lived in India for about till 2022. So started a company in 2009. Okay.
Just who you are. You have wonderful daughters, lovely wife. Revati was
Lovely
here.
wife.
We all get to meet her.
Great
meet
relationship.
Her.
I have 2 daughters who boss over me. And I wanted to be here to punch the karma, as the doctor said. So.
But interestingly, look at this guy, okay? Mukund. So if you can stand up for a minute, Mukund. Just by looking at him, can anybody tell what his body type would be? Pitta? Vata? Let's feel your pulse and we can tell you. You can sit down for a minute. Take a nice deep breath, gently close your eyes. Okay. He's a dual dosha type. He is predominantly Pitta and Vata. Vata is the secondary dosha. Pitta is his primary dosha. And one of the simple trick to understand Pitta, at what age you started losing your hair?
I think 31.
So premature graying and premature loss of hair is often a Pitta attribute, okay? We don't want to call those people hot-headed guys, but the heat that they generate, even the hair cannot stand that heat. But it makes them look enlightened, isn't it? So he's predominantly Pitta, and we want to confirm this with his astrological chart. He has a very strong fiery planet of Mars in the very first house. Is that right? Mars, this is considered to be the first house in everybody's chart. This is you count them anti-clockwise. This is the first house, this is the second house, this is the third house, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. The sign, the numbers that you're looking in here is the signs which govern those houses. So his first house, which is the house of his personality, body type, health, everything is governed by sign number 6, which is governed by Virgo. Virgo is governed by Mercury, and Mercury is a very important planet of his personality. And what does Mercury stand for? It stands for speech, communication, and expression. So clarity of speech, a lot of sharpness, a lot of articulate quality will reflect in his speech no matter what he does, whether he is in IT or is a physician or this or that. He will always use his speech and expression as a tool to earn his bread. Is that right? In many ways. So, the 3 planets that we are seeing here. Number 1 is Jupiter. Jupiter is a very powerful planet. Vedic astrology is one of the most revered planets in anybody's chart, and everybody's chart. Jupiter is considered to be the teacher of the gods. Is that right? Brihaspati. So there's an innate wisdom, knowledge, when you see Jupiter in the very first house. Any astrologer who looks at your Jupiter in the first house will tell you that this takes care of all the problems in one's life. It's a blessed life. Because Jupiter aspects 5, 7, and 9 houses from wherever it sits, and it is aspecting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is a very important trinal house, 6, 7, which is the house of relationship, 8 and 9, which is the house of luck and fortune. So without even meeting with him, I just spoke with him on the phone after he sent his chart with me. I knew that I'll have to do very little work with this guy because number 5 is the house of children. He'll be blessed with good, decent kids. House number 7, which is the house of relationship, he'll have a pretty happy, decent, lovely partnership. And he'll be lucky enough to be in the right place at the right time, because it also aspects the 9th house. So Jupiter is a benevolent planet. But the 2 planets which are around Jupiter are slightly problematic. They are considered to be a little bit harsh and tamasic planet. Mars and Ketu. Ketu is not a real planet, it's a node. It's a node which creates eclipses. Is that right? So the south node is the head of the serpent and the tail of the serpent, as we call it. So this Ketu acts like Mars, Rahu acts like Saturn. So this Ketu is a planet for spirituality, insightful intuition, but it's a shadow planet. And when it is together with Mars, it actually creates difficulties and challenges with your pitta, with your heat, with your intensity, with your thinking process, how you think, how you behave, how you act. It's the lens that it gives you how you look at the world. It creates a perfectionist quality. It creates almost that you get too fussy with date, place, time, calendar, doing things, planning things, calculating things, analyzing things, because this Mars is a very powerful planet and it's together with Ketu, which intensify each other's journey as such. Just to play with this a little bit, okay? So I will open up your interpretations and it tells me a few things about his personality. He'll be intelligent and logical, will have ability to analyze truth. He'll be careful and alert in his work. To ensure the accuracy of the task, he will verify 2 or 3 times. Is this right?
Yes.
He will be good at fault finding, that to say, he'll be a bit expert in finding defects in other people's work, not overly harsh and critical, but too harsh on himself at times. He's a little bit critical whether he's doing it right, whether nobody's blaming him, whether he's doing it right or wrong, but he himself puts that pressure on himself. Is that right?
Correct.
And when we see that, it actually makes you successful in some areas of life, and then creates an emotional nature which can be unwantedly worrisome, anxious, compulsive. Because I sometimes jokingly say these are the people who will email you, text you, fax you, and then call you whether you received it or not.
That's right.
Because lack of trust. They have hard time even delegating tasks to their associates because they don't think that they will do exactly the way they want to do it. They will do it ultimately, but it's about planning, calculation, everything. There's nothing bad as such. They will be initially introvert, they will listen to everything, but they will like to assess smallest and insignificant matters very minutely. They have to plan for any vacation, any trip, make a decision, go and do certain things. They'll have to have all the research pertaining to that. Revati, is that right, Revati? We should give a mic to you maybe. 100% right.
She's the exact opposite, by the way. So.
Well, that's the reason why you're 30 years together, man. Okay? 30 years together. She doesn't have to make any decision. This guy is making everything for me. He has done the research, calculated everything. I just have to follow him. That's all. Because she knows it very well. And that's the wisdom of women. If they understood that they say yes to it, you will do everything what she wants you to do.
That is correct also.
So, he will complete every aspect of his work in a very systematic and organized manner. He will obey instructions very carefully and completely, almost to the limit. Real interest in education, natural tendency to learn new subject. He will always be intrigued towards intelligent and learned and thoughtful people. We were talking about this morning, is that right? Whether he will go and worship a so-called guru or a teacher or deity or idol. No, he would like to go to the depth of understanding. The more complicated the matter of Vedanta is, Jnana Yoga is, that is what interests him. Would you say you're naturally inclined toward Jnana Yoga or Bhakti Yoga?
It's Jnana Yoga, most definitely. But certain things about Bhakti intrigue me. You know, the emotional certain aspects, stories and things like that really connect with me.
Great. Wonderful. Wonderful. He'll have the knowledge in various art like comedy, music, singing. Do you ever play any sports, music, instrument, anything like this?
I played mridangam when I was younger, but now I'm into sports.
Good. Either one of them is a therapy for you. Sports is something, because by nature these people are competitive. Is that right? They're competitive. So if they take on a sport, whatever at this age that suits him, would be really meditation for him. The same with a musical instrument. It'll be a meditation for him. So I think it'll be a relaxing way to take on a hobby. And this will be a Vedic counseling advice for you. To learn something like this, or to do some kind of a sport that you're hanging out with your buddies, doing certain things, enjoying, maybe pickleball, who knows. His personality will have certain weaknesses, sometimes a bit too annoying by getting into splitting hair at times. How old are your daughters?
26 and 22.
And how often do you lock horns with them?
With the older one, you know, on pretty much anything.
Because if the nature is slightly different, then they would look at their dad as if someone who is overly careful, overly analytical, and sometimes it will create a feeling of that he is being unnecessarily critical. Okay, so you just have to you just have to be watchful for that. It might be your way of expressing your love, that you want to make sure that they call, they text, as soon as they reach there, as soon as they do something, you're putting GPS in their phones and know exactly where, but they are unhappy about it. Nervousness, self-doubt, too much analysis over simple things. And the challenges that he himself wrote, okay, in his form. He's pretty healthy, he is not overweight, he's not underweight, he doesn't have terrible labs that we have to fix or anything like that. He has one challenge, and that challenge is he has high blood pressure. Blood pressure is a thinker's disease, is that right? Those people who internalize a lot of stress, they think that they are responsible for this whole universe to tick because of them. Sorry about that, but...
That is correct, yeah.
And no reason. No reason. Is that right? We are 100% indispensable. It'll perfectly run with us, without us, including our families, including our children, whatever it is. But we take ourselves too seriously that without us, certain things won't happen, or the way they should be happening. Because we have a fixated way of thinking, and nobody's putting that pressure. We are putting that pressure on ourselves. So the most difficult thing will be to let go. To let go. I'm proud of him. He sold his company, made a decent amount of money, but he's still anxious. What next? And what next would be is to complete the deal, get the money, sit back, relax, and figure out how he wants to do it without feeling the pressure of it. How many years you were running the company?
14 years.
14 years. Okay. And the deal is complete, done, gone?
It's done. Yeah, there is still some earn-out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that problem will linger all the way till June 2026 before it clears. So be patient. It won't happen this year at all. It'll be sometimes after March, April next year when the things will flow, and it'll happen because we also look at the planetary times. And this is very interesting, okay? This is very interesting. He was telling you, and we'll come back to you, Maitri, okay? So don't feel we are ignoring you or rejecting you. Just enjoy this also. So when we look at the dashas and mahadashas of various planets, then we can map his life on a spectrum scale. He was born into a Venus cycle, a traditional Tamil family, healthy, happy parents, loving parents, good sister. Everything was good till 15, 16 years, got good grades, went to a decent school, came to US, did his master's, finished everything. 99, were you in US?
Yes.
So beginning of 99, this is when the Mars came in, okay? You were already 30 years of age, you were already married, you were already having 2 kids. Everything was said and done. Life was completely healthy, happy, successful. But then he realized that he has to do something when this Mars cycle ended. When did he go to India?
2005, end of 2004. Actually.
So this Mars created a lot of dynamism, grew his company, made it successful, somehow relocated to India to help his father. Very good, excellent. His father was struggling, he had Parkinson's, he thought that as a son, this is his duty to be with him, to help him, support him, and he had cracked the code where he could run his company, sitting back, enjoying his rasam and sambar and dosa and idli, sitting there and still run the company, and did that all the way from 37 to 55, from 2006 to 2024. Is that right?
Right.
Does this timeline fit what you did, how you did?
Yeah, in 2006, I went back as a CEO of a US company. I started my own in 2009.
Jupiter cycle.
Till 2024.
Yeah, the Jupiter cycle when it started, and you came back in 2024, last year, sold the company, and now you're starting a phenomenal cycle of Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet of spirituality, abundance, knowledge, sharing. So the money that you made during the Rahu is a material planet, is that right? Ketu is more spiritual planet. Rahu is about making money, growing money, material growth. Insatiable desire, headless, is that right? The serpent which is headless, where it cannot satiate desire, that is the Rahu phase. It all happened, nothing bad. But when the Jupiter comes, now he will probably think about what he wants to do with his life. And possibly, he would like to use his money and resources wisely to make difference in someone else's life. He would like to probably look at this phase as the third phase in his life to probably move back to India and reset and restart his life without feeling the pressure of having a family, running a family, doing anything, because the kids will be grown up. The wife has stopped fixing him anymore, so he is ready to enjoy his Vanaprastha ashram. Is that right?
I would like to.
You would like to. Man proposes, God disposes, okay? Very likely that he would like to move and he would like to relocate, but I feel he's still going to be stuck until 2030, until the Saturn cycle ends. So he may sell his company, he may create some non-profit, he would create certain things, and I don't want him to be in a rush to make a rash decision to suddenly, now I'm done, I have to do this. Because you have to look for the signs. And that's another piece of wisdom for everyone, that yes, I would like to do this, but I would also like to observe the signs around me to see what are they telling me. What are they giving me hints that what I should be doing and how I should be doing. So if it supports, he can always do that. But if it's not, then he should not make a resisting decision to make a relocation unnecessarily. But when the Mercury cycle starts, it will automatically create a situation which will become rather easy for him. It will continue all the way till 71. He's still not done making money. He's still going to come up with another way where he is going to generate more wealth and still going to distribute that wealth in something else. So maybe his wife can do something of giving away money to proper cause and do something, and he will still continue to create a for-profit venture after he has recovered and gotten some rest in few years. Does that make sense?
That would be wonderful if that were to happen.
Is that the plan?
I actually don't know.
Okay.
I don't.
This is real wisdom, okay? Means we never hear these words from Mukund earlier that I don't know, because their main sentence of Pitta is I know what to do. But for us to be sometime even humble that I don't know and I'm going to look and see how I feel is a big piece of wisdom sometimes. To be humble enough to really be watchful and go with the flow at times. So nothing bad about it, but it looks as if this is what is going to happen. The reason being his moon sign is Leo, okay, Pitta. His mind is more Pitta. He's shifting his body a little bit. He's calming down, he's reducing the pressure, he's calming his vata. All of those a little bit restless, anxious tendencies are settling down first time in his life. He's using his body to quiet his mind. He's having a little bit more fun and relaxation. And he is probably adopting a lifestyle which is much more healthier and calmer and doesn't feel rushed. So if I look at his chart, and there are three things that I would look at it as a problem. Number one, he has a blessed life. Healthy, happy childhood, lovely marriage, got everything at the right time, in the right space, and here he is halfway through in life where he feels pretty content with the journey. Is that right?
That's correct.
What we need to fix him is to make him a little bit more spiritual, make him a little bit more relaxed, make him a little bit more fun and easygoing. And that we will do it with maybe few herbs that will help with his blood pressure. He should not really discontinue his pharmaceutical because you have been taking it for 20 odd years.
That's correct.
We don't want to add 2 more extra blood pressure medication to create this, but support this so that we can lower his medication as and when it happens. And it will happen with some meditation, it will happen with relaxation, it will happen with sports, it will happen with a couple of pounds that he's easily able to lose. He has to stay away from 3 things: hurry, worry, and curry. And that would help.
It's
okay,
tough,
so
yeah.
if he makes his body a little bit more alkaline, bitter green foods, alkaline water, coconut water, bitter green juice, celery juice, refined sweets, hot and spicy foods, if he reduces that, he'll be fine. There is nothing in here that I feel that is overly problematic. We worry, every one of us, but he is worrying a little bit more because of lack of trust and lack of faith. And the things he's doing, they're phenomenal, they're growing. He's listening to some eminent scholars on various topics, which is a good hobby to have. Is that right? He's listening to Swamiji and listening to YouTube videos and things, which allows him to distill and start seeing his own reflection in how he should let go of certain things, because everything is happening according to a plan. What did you plan to get here today for the last 50 years? How did you plan that?
I didn't do much.
That's what I mean to say. So why to worry about the next 50?
That is true.
So nobody of us planned that this is what I will do and this is where I will be. We just allowed ourselves to go with the flow. Here we are, mindfully enough, stopping, pausing, reflecting, retrospecting, taking few steps back, and then start walking one more time, correcting the course of our things. And that is exactly what it is. So from my perspective, I'll put you on certain herbs that will be adaptogenic herbs to help you manage blood pressure. I'll continue to have you do some sports. I will give you some pitta pacifying diet foods, which will help you for maybe some blood pressure issues. You do get heartburn and hyperacidity sometimes.
Once in a while.
Yeah. All of those things. So again, and the pitta time of the day is the middle of the day between 10 and 2. But the pitta time of the day is in the night in between 10 and 2. That is when he will sometimes feel restless, light, he will wake up, and he will still be planning, thinking, analyzing, calculating, working in the middle of the night. And nobody around him would be even aware that this guy is writing an email to his business partner what to do, which he has to just type next day. He's already done that in his sleep. That's the pitta time of the night when he is working. Have you seen yourself doing that?
Yes, quite often actually. I wanted to get out of that.
Yeah. So we'll prescribe him an evening routine to unwind, to cool down during that pitta time of the day. And we hardly spoke about all of these issues, did we?
No. Yeah.
So he's doing yoga, he's lifting weights, he's running. That's very good. We have to take those soda pop away from him. But everything really good. So just go with the flow, continue with the habits. We'll give you a pitta pacifying diet and lifestyle, learning a musical instrument, enjoying your sports, spending time outdoors in nature, especially in cool, green outdoor vacation. He's not a guy for hot, sunny beach vacations of any kind. He will be more happy in green, outdoor, cooler settings with lakes and reservoirs and rivers and things like that. So that would be a good
That is also true. I like mountains and foothills and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So once we look at the chart, it's creepy how many things that we can tell about the person. So many things. We don't often share everything with them because we don't need to. But it's a sketch of his transpersonal psychology. And what is his transpersonal psychology? This is who he is. I think Ralph Waldo Emerson once said that who you are speaks so loudly that I don't hear a single word that is coming out of your mouth. And you can feel that. You can feel in people's body language and who they are and how they are, that many times this is a clear reflection. It's a good spiritual chart because in the Navamsha chart, he has Jupiter and Saturn and Mercury together. So there's a lot of work that he can do. He has the clarity, he has the passion, he has the intensity, he has the organization skills, he has the leadership skills. He just needs to slow down, relax, pause, and allow people to accept his leadership. You don't have to prove your point over and over again to tell them how you are right, but let them follow you. If you develop some good listening skills, that will make you even more successful. So, the wonderful chart, I think I should give it back to you. Your things, I will be I have taken notes, and I'll send you some packet with some herbs and teas and set of instructions to your address that we will continue our care for you.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you. Let's give him a big hand. And now our rock star, Maitri. How are you doing? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good today.
Okay, so please tell us who you are, where do you live, what do you do, whether you are married, children, anything like that.
My name everywhere else is Merit Resnick. I'm Maitri with all of you. And I live in Idlewild, California, which is on Mount San Jacinto, right above Palm Springs.
Okay.
I'm a school teacher, I'm married, and I have 2 cats, but no children.
Great, wonderful. Well, thank you for coming here. So, Maitri, is it okay if we call you Maitri?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Maitri means friendship or friendliness, so that's a better name. When she was born, she was a Leo rising. Okay? Leo rising, what it tells us, that a strong character, a strong-willed person. Okay? She knows what she wants, how she wants. I won't say that she is very stubborn and obstinate, but we would like to hear from her side how she feels.
That might be accurate.
And the Leo traits is good and bad in many ways, because these are the people who actually do not like subordination. They're not very submissive. They like to do everything on a large decorum. They're very frank, sometimes too blunt, clean at heart, but liberal. Sometimes will get a little bit more grumpy and irritable. Natural qualities of leadership, organizing, all of that. But the strength of their character actually creates a lot of challenges for them, even way too early in their life. Very early in their life. Because how they live, even if they are a kid, and she had a difficult phase from the Ketu cycle, from 2 years to 9 years, up to almost 10, 11 years. And that Ketu adds this Martian quality even further, creates almost an eclipsy quality. And whenever we see nodes in the early childhood, we can easily predict some adverse childhood experiences, which can haunt them, affect them, shift and change their molds of their thinking, behavior, and personality way too early in their life. Do you want to share anything about that?
Well, that was the reality of my childhood, and I don't like to lead with that, but since we're talking about it, yeah, from 2 to 9 years old was before my sister was born. I was an only child, and I had a lot of, my parents weren't very parental, and so they also weren't very protective. So I had was accosted. I was molested a few times. And I think that was at 9 years old. Is interesting that you came up with 9, because that was like a turning point for me.
And what was the turning point?
All my
you
confidence
came into your Venusian age, okay? You came into your prime youth when the Venus cycle came at that time, okay? That was the time when you were exuding beauty, grace, all of that. You were almost practically young lady between 10 years of age to 29. And that Venus cycle is a beautiful cycle depending upon where the Venus was placed in her life. Okay? So Venus is together with Saturn and Ketu in the 6th house. 6th house is the house of disease and obstacles. 6th house is the house of disease and obstacles. So based upon what the planetary time that you're going through, it can bring those kind of difficulties, challenges, and obstacles in those areas of life. And there's nothing bad about it, but she's a strong-willed, strong-charactered person. And there might be people who might feel threatened and intimidated by the strength of her character around it. Could be high school people, could be in workplace, could be in the colleagues and things like that. And when we look at this chart, her Mars and Rahu are together. This Mars is debilitated, okay? So Mars is debilitated in the 12th house with Rahu. So a debilitated Mars with a malefic planet, sometimes it creates an addictive personality. And that addictive personality sometimes could be addiction of the good things or bad things at times. If she likes something, then she would love that to death. God forbid if she hates something. And I'm happy. At what age you found your spiritual path?
It was actually in my mid-28th year.
Okay. So as soon as the Venus cycle ended.
Yeah, that was the big turnaround. I actually bottomed out in an eating disorder and stayed in a recovery home where one of our beloved swamis was invited. I had no thought before that. I thought about God all the time, but I had no religious experience and had no thought of Hinduism of any kind. But the Swami came and I was smitten. That was it. I started Vedanta then.
And again, this Venus cycle, which is a kaphagenic cycle, addiction could be food, could be alcohol, could be drugs, could be sex, could be anything. But what was so problematic between 10 and 30, those 20 years? What was the most problematic part?
I just really struggled emotionally. I had deep depression and felt broken, had no idea how to fix it, and just felt like I didn't belong in this world. And so I kept trying things, and it didn't make it better. I started losing weight. I developed anorexia. That didn't help. So it was kind of a downward cycle unless I changed something in what I was doing, I wasn't going to survive.
And all of these things that she's describing, they sound physical, but they are all mental and emotional. The planet that decides our mental state is Moon. And her moon in her chart is a debilitated moon. She has a very weak, debilitated moon. And we call it as a lonely moon because there's no planet before the moon sign, there's no planet after the moon sign. So this moon is a lonely moon in the constellation of Jyeshtha, which is considered to be a little bit of a harsh nakshatra. So even though she is very bright, she is very smart, very intelligent, but when it comes to doing things for herself, she often lost her way and go overboard in doing something which put her onto more of a self-destructive path. So, two very important planets. Mars is for courage, dynamism, organization, structure, doing it properly. That is debilitated in her chart. And now Moon, which is mind, feelings, emotions, applying your mind, will, discipline, all of that, even that is debilitated. What is good is the combination of Sun and Jupiter in the 8th house. The first house is the house of Dharma. Second is the house of Artha, Kama, Moksha. Then again Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. So Jupiter rules sign number 12, which is Pisces. So it was her good luck that she found someone, she met someone, and she turned her life completely around. With the 12-step program, interestingly, sign number 12 here, is that right? You went through 12-step program?
Yes.
Sign number 12 is Pisces, which is governed by Jupiter, and Jupiter is here together with Sun. And when the Sun came out in her life, that is when all of these things happened. Between 1993 to 1999. Would you agree?
That's extraordinary.
Is it?
Yes, that was that was when my life in San Diego started after treatment, and I found Vedanta. I became a teacher, and that's what I'm still doing. I remember saying to people many times, I don't even recognize the person that I was. So that was a starting time. It's like I was born then.
Means the vasanas, the samskaras, the impressions were there in the background, okay, that kept her anxious and depressed, but she was managing her life. She was not completely, truly in her elements till 45 years and 9 months. Even though she had Vedanta, she was initiated, she was trying to do the right things, eat the right things, do the right things, but this moon cycle was still not allowing her to feel completely in her true elements. There was a phase where she was in the background, anxious and depressed. Is that right?
That's very true, yes.
And then came out Mars, which is also a planet that is debilitated. Is that right? So the two planets that are debilitated in her chart, one is Moon and the other is Mars. So she did everything right, but the support of nature, that she should support her activities and everything, was difficult. It is like walking on a treadmill. You walk in one direction, the belt is moving in the other direction. Kept her busy, she kept on doing the right thing, but at 52 years, when she started taking a nice deep breath, few years before the COVID, she started feeling more comfortable in her physical body, without the baggage which was stuck in the carpet for a long time. She was able to forgive people. She was able to look forward to life. She started enjoying things. She started becoming a little bit more cheerful and more happy. Is that right?
Yes, that was the time when I switched jobs. I had a long teaching job that was wonderful but very stressful, and I stepped down into a subordinate position, and it was an ego shift for me. I got to then, in those years, switch to enjoying teaching and making other teachers thrive rather than competing to be teacher of the year, which was my mentality before that.
Because it's the Pitta trait, it's the Leo rising, that you want to be the best of the best, but you also like telling others what to do.
That is very true, and I've been doing it for many years.
But again, as I said, that she is currently going through a Rahu cycle, which is nothing bad, and her challenge is that she has a Leo rising. The ruler of her Lagna, which is Sun, is together with Jupiter, and this together creates more of a graceful spiritual life hereafter. After the Rahu, she enters into a Jupiter cycle, and so it'll create more and more relaxation and happiness, and she'll be a good role model of telling others that how difficult the first half of life was and how you can change those things with your attention onto something. There was also an interesting thing that we looked into her chart, which is called as Sade Sati. Sade Sati is the Saturn return, when Saturn is transiting a sign before your moon sign, exactly on your moon sign, and right after your moon sign. The first one was from 1982 to 1990. The second one, which opened everything, was 2011, almost 2012 to 2020. This was a big opening in her life. And the third and the final one that she'll be having is 2041 to 2049, when she will go through a Jupiter cycle at that time. So we are not that worried about that as such, because she starts her Jupiter cycle when she turns 70. From 2034 to almost 87 years of age, she'll have a good Jupiter cycle. The few things that we will do from an Ayurvedic perspective that we would like to do, that she has more Pitta predominant, but this Jupiter in Pisces aspecting the Lagna is the secondary dosha. So your body type will have more Pitta and Kapha predominant to it. Will have Pitta and Kapha predominant to it, and it's difficult because what you do to balance Pitta will actually increase Kapha, and what you do to reduce Kapha will increase her Pitta. So we have to create a fusion of things, making her eat foods which are bitter and astringent, which are neither too heating nor cooling. We should make her sweat, because sweating will get rid of the water and will get rid of the heat also at the same time. So sweating would be a good therapy for her by looking at her dosha type. And interestingly enough, when we look at her entire chart and this situation, this nakshatra, which is a Jyeshtha nakshatra governed by Mercury, is how she expresses herself. So she's very articulate, and teaching is a good job for her, because this is also an interesting planet, that Mercury for her, which will allow her to pave her way. But in general, if I have to tell her to help her or guide her, it's a much easy time for me to do that. Had we met 30 years ago, it would have been a real challenge, because then I feel that I'm doing something against the backdrop of time, which is more difficult right now. And the wisdom lies in not telling them that you are stuck for the 10 more years, but working with them and giving them the tools so that they find some support to deal with the challenge that they are going through. And that's what we often do, is that right? Difficult times, your back's to the wall, you look up, what is in the stars, you pray, you worship, and that's how you move on. So there is a genuine forgiving quality about her, okay? She has amazing power of forgiveness and forgetting in spite of being extremely enraged. Fearless, bold, aggressive, will fight for a just cause, will not like subordination, will not like people telling her what to do at times. She will listen to people that she has trust and faith in them, but anyone else, she'll have difficult time to do those. She will do things properly and will complete her task, but she will often undergo spells of lethargy and will run away from things altogether. Peace-loving, pious, charitable, energetic. Many times she has to really figure out a way to shake the laziness and the heaviness that can engulf her situation, and work on lightening up a little bit, which will help her feel that vata quality that will balance everything else. And this constellation, okay, so sometimes it can create a little bit more aggressive. You were married once before? Or this is your own?
This is my first marriage.
And you were married for what, 23 years now, 25 years?
Yep, 22 coming up.
And so up to 40 years you are more or less by yourself.
Yes. I had relationships, but never committed.
And if there's one reason that you think that these relationships did not materialize properly, what would that be?
Because I did everything I could to keep people away from me.
And
I didn't
I didn't want to bring it up, but sometimes what happens is that they feel threatened and intimidated by the strength of your character, and you end up in adding that even further, that you reject love. And that comes from fear. That comes from low-grade anxiety and depression that is coming from early childhood trauma. Often comes from early childhood trauma that doesn't allow you to think that you're capable of being loved.
True.
But finally you manifested someone that you like, they love you, here you are, the decent, wonderful life ahead of you. I will put my head and pen together and come up with a simple plan that will put you on to make you sweat, cleanse, detox, lighten you up a little bit, will energize your life so that you are able to function and finish your glorious retirement for 2 more years. But she'll be a misfit for retirement, to sit and do nothing, because her moon, she needs something to do. If I ask her whether she should retire, I would say no. But the pressure of it, the day-to-day structure of it, she should let it go. But find something that she wants to do, that she can occupy herself for 3, 4, 5 hours every day.
I want to volunteer.
Yes. Yes, but again, that has to be structured, and you find your ways. because volunteering sometimes can be difficult also, because you have to get along with people who are not completely there. But find something that is a little niche that you do, that you feel good about, and you don't rotate from one thing to another constantly, but start developing something that you get good at and constantly contribute to something bigger, better, and greater than yourself. Nothing bad, wonderful chart, and she does take few medications. We don't have to change those medications, but I promise you that as you pursue on this path, many of these drugs would be greatly reduced. And you will start feeling much lighter, healthier, happier, and calm. And we wish both of you a good, long, healthy, happy life. Thank you for sharing your stories with us. And I'll carry this back with me and then send you a little package with some goodies that you want to follow. And you'll always be able to access me when you need me.
Thank you so much, Doctor.
Namaste.